Hey everybody, Lee McAllister here. McAllister Excavation Outdoors. Hope you're doing well. Been a little while since I've done a real check-in. Kind of a crazy year. A lot happened. Of course, the wife had to have surgery again, and I had to be around to help her with the kids a lot more. So in a previous video, I think I did say that I did sell the 60G John Deere. Which really was sad. I love that machine. It's probably going to be one of my favorites that I've had. So yeah, I've been without an excavator, been doing driveway work with the skid steer, the power rake, which I do get quite a bit of work with. So, I've been doing that. I was hemming and hawing about another tractor. I ended up with a Kubota l3560. It's a limited edition one. I don't mean it's got a bunch of extras. It was lacking a few things, but still had everything I wanted in a tractor. I didn't need anything huge or crazy because I have the skid steer. But it's nice to have something to use around the yard with grass and to do a little mowing and stuff. So yeah, I ended up with that, which I'll show you guys here in a few minutes. What else do we have going on? Of course, it's deer season now. I've been hunting. I lost a real nice buck there a week ago. That's pretty heartbreaking for anybody that hunts. And let me turn this around. There we go. For anybody that hunts and does it, that's just heartbreaking. I shot it. It was raining then, and I gave it a little bit. It was a bad shot. We had a hard time finding blood. We left it, and it poured all freaking night. We had a couple guys, me and my father, and we looked and looked and looked for the next day, and we couldn't find it. I don't know. I'm hoping maybe it was in one of them areas in the deer that maybe it'll live. I don't know. I think it was a nice 6, but that's the way stuff goes sometimes. So yeah, that's where I'm at with hunting, and that was archery. So we're going to be into rifle next weekend. I do have some really nice bucks coming in now, and there's a food plot which I had built. Everywhere I go with this, it's hard with the sun there. Yeah, there we go. So there's that stuff going on. I was hoping to get away with it, not having an excavator with the business, just skid steer. That was a little bit more difficult than I thought. I had a lot of people that were disappointed when I told them I didn't have an excavator no more. And I have a lot of stuff going still around the house. I got our septic, a leach field that's got to be redone. I still want to do some work out back on the road here. I got some culverts to do. And what else do we have going? I'd like to expand on the food plot a little bit. So yeah, we're gonna work on that, expand it a little bit, not crazy. Just pretty much clean up stuff, stump it a little bit more. So yeah, I ended up ordering another excavator. I will not have it until like April or May. They told me about 6 months because it was a special order. The reason it's a special order is because it's another John Deere. It's still going to be a Hitachi machine. Even though it's the P series, it's pretty much identical to a G. The 50 will be a little easier to move on my trailer. The 60 was pretty heavy to tow around with my truck. So, and the price was right for a 50. I went with a lease. I'm going to lease it for a couple years, and then I'll buy it out, just like I did to the skid steer. I'm in the process of buying that out of the lease. So yeah, a lease works out for a lot of times. I know a lot of people don't like leasing stuff, but it does work. It's a cost-effective way to get into a piece of equipment. So yeah, so the reason it's special order is it's got steel tracks, long stick, and what else? And it's going to have a case drain. So yeah, we got that going on. I should see that about April, which is fine for me. Oh boy, the sun is just hard right now. Wow. Sorry. So yeah, there's that. I'm excited to have a machine again. It's, I've had a excavator for 9 years. So to let one go, I've kind of, I've got people that like me doing work for them. I get callbacks quite often. Some of them were pretty upset when I told them I didn't have an excavator no more. So I will have another one. When that comes, obviously there'll be a video especially the fact it's got steel tracks. I mean, I have yet to find anything in the area for a 50 or 60 that comes with steel tracks. Just none of them. The dealer said usually they all come rubber. So my sales guy worked with me and we ordered one with steel tracks. So I'm excited to see it. I couldn't do the angled blade and steel tracks, which I do not understand. It's got to be something with the dimensions of tracks, or worried it's going to hit or something when it angles, which was a little disappointing because I wanted to just go all out and get the angled blade with it. But it is what it is. I have the skid steer with a Harley rake for a lot of work. I don't tend to push a lot with this excavator, so a straight blade's fine. Yeah, so there's that going on. I'm excited for that. I am. I got some projects. We got some firewood. We're finally going to get some firewood done. I can't wait to get back into firewood. It's been tough to find the time, but I think the kids, you know, the littlest is over a year old now and walking, and my other one's 4, gonna be 5 next year. So we're finally starting to, things are getting a little bit easier. Things are crazy. I think my wife's finally healing up for everything she went through, and I think we're finally on the right track for that. So yeah, it's gonna free me up to do some more stuff, get back into my excavation stuff. But yeah, let me spin this around. I'm just gonna go over the tractor quick that I picked up. First Kubota tractor for me ever, first Kubota anything, and I'm loving it. Honestly, I love the tractor. So let's spin it around. So yeah, here is the Kubota. It's a Grand L3560 limited edition. You can see right here. It's hard to see, but yeah, there we go. Overall build quality of this tractor is incredible, right? The paint, everything's just perfect on here. It runs so good, and the hydraulics are awesome, very smooth. I mean, just I can't get over like the 3-point lift on this. It's got the like the actual lift cylinders, which is, I think it's much better. But everything's just very fit and finish is very nice on this tractor. It's comfortable to sit on. Everything's right where you would want it to be. I love the handle here. I didn't go with a third function, being that I have the skid steer, right? I have the grapple for the skid steer. Most of my hydraulic attachments, snowblower, will be for the skid steer. This is pretty much going to be used to load attachments on the trailer and do some brush mowing and light yard work, really. Maybe a few driveways. I still have a box blade, so a few little driveways with it. But yeah, so these are like the, I don't know, they're the new, I think they're like an R4, the newer hybrid R4s. So you can see the tires on there. They work very well so far. I got 15 hours on the tractor. Yeah, so far I like it. Like I said, my last John Deere, one of them, I had nothing but problems with it. I think the fit and finish was actually not very good either. One thing with the Kubota is that I have the skid steer quick connect, so it'll work for my pallet forks that are for the skid steer, and I can just move stuff around. Oh man, the sun is tough. And I had them throw the quick hitch on. This is actually one they had there, was used. I paid, I think, $250 for this. So yeah, they gave it to me for that. Yeah, there ain't much to say about it. It's got a little toolbox here. I got a bunch of stuff in here. The seat's comfortable. The only thing I will say, the seat's almost too soft. I'm a big guy, and it almost bottoms out, cranked all the way up. And they said the only option would have been to go to the air seat, but I'll live with it. I need to just lose some weight anyway, so I guess maybe that's a sign. Yeah, I don't know. I really like this tractor. I like the layout. I did add on the cruise control because that's something that doesn't come when you're ordering these tractors, or when you get these tractors, the limited ones. This is missing, and you're missing the quick holes here, the pin for this, which I don't care because I use a quick hitch, so I don't care about that. But besides that, I don't really know what else would be missing. I'm sure there's maybe a couple things I'm missing, but I'm not really sure. There's your four-wheel drive. There's your diff lock, your gear selectors here. And another cool thing with this tractor, which I really like, I didn't think I would, is that with being in one of these other gears, like the medium or low, you could still jump it up into a higher gear right here while you're going, which is pretty handy. I've actually used this more than I thought I would. Throttle, the PTO, everything's just very nice. I'm very happy with this so far. It looks well built, and you know, the loader's very solid. So yeah, we're getting ready to take these wood totes off. So it will lift these totes off. I've moved them around with this tractor. I didn't buy the tractor to do this. If I needed the skid steers there, but I have the grapple on the skid steers, so I just threw the forks on this for now. Yeah, and then we got the grapple, which has been awesome on the skid steer. I've been using it. We'll take a walk over here. Let's go. It's not bad today. It's almost 50, so figured I'd do a little video, and it's been a while. I got the I'll go on the skid steer now, but yeah, here is the grapple, and I love it. It is so well built. So this was a leftover grapple they'd had laying around, and I got a really good deal on it. My sales guy here at United Ag in Newport, Vermont has been so great to deal with, and in general their service team has been great. Like, I've had issues, I mean, they take the skid steer, drop a loaner off, you know, they've been amazing. So it's the reason why I had a hard time switching to another brand. So, and I've even had him leave up parts off for me, because he is my neighbor up the road, so he'll leave stuff off if I need it. And that's big. Like, when you're buying a piece of equipment, I've said it before, you have to have service. I mean, if you're buying something and you ain't gonna get service or parts, it's a waste of money. You're gonna be in trouble at some point. I don't care if you can fix a lot of stuff yourself, you're gonna need somebody that's either got the software, the computer stuff, that can deal with the DPF. So yeah, there's all that. But the skid steer has over 200 hours now. I've had one flaw with it, with the joystick sensor control thing. Like I said, they picked it up, dropped a loaner off, and I had this one in 2 days back. It's been fine since. That was the only problem I had with this machine. It does lack a little bit of power when you're running the power rake up a hill. You know, it is only, what, 74 horse, so you're pulling a lot of fluid to try to do some stuff. But so yeah, it won't be long, we'll be throwing the snowblower on. But you can see, like, everything's greasable on this grapple. I really like it, and just well built. You know, everything's protected. Your hoses are tucked up in here, unlike some of them that I've seen. And I love being able to, you know, rake the rocks there. Like, kind of grub this with this bucket. You know, you can kind of get rocks and your dirt falls out. So yeah, it's been awesome. But yeah, I figured I'd do a small update video for you. I'm just gonna set the camera down over here. I'm gonna undo the totes, and we'll go from there. See if I can set this down without making it too wonky for everybody. It's been a while since I've had the GoPro out. I had to charge stuff up. I think a couple of the batteries are not good, so actually I'm going to turn it this way, out of the sun. There we go. Yeah, so I use the binders. The roads were so rough coming over the mountain here that I just figured it was a little bit better to use this. I don't know, I don't have the best ratchet strap, so and yeah, having a deck over trailer has been one of the best things I've ever done. I would love a tilt deck for the skid steer. Maybe, I don't know, the tractor ain't gonna go very far usually. I don't know, this deck over trailer, for being on the cheaper side, has been amazing. There's been zero issues with this quality trailer. There's that. All right, so yeah, you could see I got the totes of wood. I have another tote that's already got wood in it, so I filled these two up. I'd like about 4 more of these totes, or maybe even 5. Yeah, like I said, it'll lift the, them totes are nothing for the tractor. Yeah, get with me. Come on. All right. We'll set this one over here. I love the tractor gauge as well. Another reason I went with the Kubota was I have family members that have these tractors. One of them's had one for 30 years. Granted, it doesn't have the emission stuff, and he said the only thing he's ever done was a starter. That's it. So that was another reason. Let's see, I got my other tote right there. I'm gonna put this one right over there. Let's see here. Whoop. Let's see, let's set that over there. The tires are loaded on this too. Another thing too, I didn't think, well, the one reason that I went with a Grand L tractor was because of this pedal right here. I prefer this over the normal treadle pedal by a long shot. Like, this is so much more comfortable. That's kind of what held me away from Kubota a little bit to begin with. When I realized that this pedal is here, I don't know, this pedal just works so nice. Like, I prefer that. But yeah, alright, you see me do that. I will probably shut this video off here pretty soon. I'll have to get this edited out for you guys. There's the property. We do have snow on the mountain. We got a couple inches down here the other day. That kind of melted off, but the higher elevation, they got 5-6 inches up top. I think we got like another foot coming too, I think, on the mountain. I think maybe tomorrow and Monday, so I'm trying to get some wood together. I figured I'd do a little video with you guys using the tractor to take some wood off. especially if anyone's thinking about an L3560. This tractor is awesome. It's smooth, it's quiet. But that's one thing I think Kubota's always done pretty well anyway, is their motors. I mean, that's one reason too I was comfortable going with a Kubota. I looked hard into a Coyote. But nothing against them. My father bought one and I actually use it and I like it. I kind of drove this tractor and I kind of fell in love with it. I just love sitting on it. I don't need a cab because I'm on and off doing stuff like this, and I have the skid steer for cold weather work and nasty work. So yeah, that's what's going on. I just wanted to do a little overview of stuff. I hope you're all doing well. I do apologize for the lack of videos. You know, it's hard when you have two little kids, wife that needed me, doing two jobs. You know, like I say, do manage a quarry and I do my own stuff, so it gets to be a lot through the summer. Oh, and another thing is obviously the snowmobiling stuff. I am going to do some videos. I know it's probably not everybody's thing, but me and my wife love doing it. I got a helmet mount and stuff, so yeah, that will happen. There will be some videos. There is still the new sled that I had ordered that will be coming. That's a Skidoo MXZ XRS 850 137 in mineral blue. I don't know, it seems to be taking a while to get here. A lot of people have already got theirs, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah, so that's what's going on. Just a lot of stuff. I just hope you're all doing well. I just wanted to check in. You know, I apologize for the lack of videos. It's just, this isn't my full-time gig like some people. You know, I do a video here and there when I can, and I'm gonna try to do a few more. Any likes, subscribes are very much appreciated. Have a good one. Bye.